Rosemary's back. Gosh, thank you. Hearing myself. Thank you for inviting followers, everybody. Thank you, Laura. So my name is Indra. silent-moon.co.uk is me. Got to look different from this angle. In the brown, Joel, in the brown. And I create wonderful flower essences by the light of the silvery moon. But today, as I'm a yoga teacher, by traditional nature, I'm going to do a little bit of yoga with you. It's been a really it's been a tough week on people's backs this week, and I've noticed quite a few of my yoga students have been having a lot of back pain. Well, I just wanted to say that we've had Lammas and we've had New Moon and we've had really strong energies going on around us, which is always usually the case. But back problems have been a real issue this week. Don't fret, okay? It's okay. It kind of means you're really in tune with what's going on. Lammas is all about the new harvest, the first harvest. It shakes our stability, and our stability being the base chakra, Muladhara chakra. I should have used that as a hashtag. So the back naturally goes. A little bit wobbly. Thanks for inviting followers, everybody. Please do share if yoga and grounding resonates with you. Hello, James. Hi, my love. How are you? So today I'm going to keep this quite short because obviously you've been on with both Joel and I forgot to put your handle in, which you don't remind me. So there you go. Yeah, I can't. I had a morning of sitting in Starbucks and just doing technical stuff, and when I have to do technical stuff, I go into space. You know, it's not me. Hello. So I need this grounding time just to really connect. So I'm going to do a couple of really simple yoga asanas that you can actually do with me. I'm very good, thanks, darling. And you can do them now. Joel's going to hold the phone. And you can do them now with me. They're so simple. There's nothing like crazy to worry about. They're just very, very good for the back and creating space between your vertebra and your spine when you're feeling like you're compressed. I've noticed that this week, there's been quite a lot of yoga students that have come to me with back problems, and when our spines compress, the natural thing to actually do is to try and roll ourselves in and try and hide and try and keep ourselves from getting any sort of hurt coming towards us, protect our bodies. But what we really need to do, hi Jennifer, is to really open. My back's been hurting, okay. So just saying, if you just joined me, it's don't worry, because it's, you know, we've had a crazy new moon, we've had Lammas, it's all been about the new harvest, the new beginnings, and just our base and our chakra base and our security has been shaken. So there has been a few spine issues and a few lower back problems. So I'm going to give you some really simple poses that those of you that are yogis anyway are going to know, okay? And then I will do, on behalf of somebody who came for a consultation last week with me, is I just want to do a grounding breathing practice. I've done it with you before, but sometimes it's really good to be reminded of stuff. When I've done it a few weeks ago, it's really good to come back to it and say, okay, it's a really good grounding practice. I just want to share it on this scope. It was on the moon salutation scope, if you remember that, a few weeks ago, and it's very easy to do. I slipped a disc doing yoga and being too scared to do it since. Okay, well, what needs to happen there is you need to find a good teacher. I'm going to say this, and you know I have real issues with it, is that people are training now with very, very little experience. And really, you should be practicing yoga for at least 3 years before you actually do any kind of teacher training. I'm really old school on this. I've done 4 different traditions in yoga. I've been practicing yoga since I was 15. I haven't, touched wood, I've been teaching since 2001, and I haven't yet hurt anybody. Touch Joel's head. And it's not about being cautious. Love your earrings, thank you. It's not about being cautious so much, because I'm not into being cautious. Like, it's about being intuitive. It's about knowing your body, and it's about knowing your students' bodies. And people can't. A lady called Karen Goss. I don't know where she is. Is she in London or is she in the US? I don't know where she is, my love, because I'm in London at the moment, but I'm in the UK. So I haven't. You know what? I've done Suffolk. Oh my goodness. I haven't really got into yoga circles in my life, because yoga has become such an authentic space, and I get really, hello, I just get really a bit miffed off of how yoga's turned out to be. When I started doing yoga, there was few teachers, and those teachers were amazing, and they were just so, you wanted to be with them, and you wanted to have classes with them, and you wanted to experience them. But now every other person is a yoga teacher. So I don't fight to tell people that I'm a good yoga teacher. I just teach small classes, and those people who come to me because they love what I do, and I teach it from the heart, and that's really what I'm about. I teach my yoga practice from the heart, and when you do that, you can't really go wrong. Great scope. Follow back, please. Okay, well, we know about me following back. You know, I have to watch your scopes first, my love, before I follow back. So I'm not into that either. I'm not about following back, because I have a life as well. So I don't really watch scopes very much. I don't follow that many people, to be honest. I just scope and then maybe say hello to those people that I share some space with, and then I go away. It seems trendy, but really we all should be doing yoga. And you know what, James? Yeah, if it resonates, absolutely. But the thing is, James, also what I think as well is that I get people who come to me and they say, I can't do yoga because I'm not flexible. And this is what we've been led to believe. Yoga is not about flexibility. Yoga postures are yoga asanas. I have tiny feet. Best yoga for this. Best yoga for your tiny feet. Just yoga. Yoga postures, or asanas as they're called, were actually created by the gurus or the yogis so that they could sit in meditative pose. The first thing about yoga is meditation. So if you can do meditation, then you've already 90% through with the well, I'd say probably 50% through with the yoga, another 40% learn to breathe, and then, you know, all the breathing comes with the meditation anyway. But breathing and meditation are the first signs and keys of yoga. It's got nothing to do with the postures. The postures are there to make the body flexible so that you can sit longer in meditation. That's what they're for, and that's that little gem I want to give you today. Please, please don't get caught up in the postures. Go as far as you can, and when your body starts to hurt, good sucking lips. Okay, could you get rid of that person if they're still there, John? Thank you. Okay. Okay. Yeah, just leave him alone. So really, when you do yoga, you should feel a stretch, but you should never, ever, ever feel pain. Never. And I think this is what's happened. I've tried, but not very coordinated. And you don't have to be. So what I ask you to do then, James, and if it's something that you really want to, I think that was James, something that you really want to do, is that you find a small class, you find the tradition that is right for you. So don't go and do Bikram yoga, don't go and do anything that's Ashtanga based, or you could do a beginner's Ashtanga class, but don't go to something that is really tough for your body. Just go to a simple Hatha yoga practice or a simple Kundalini practice. No, I'm not a doctor, I'm a yogi. And just start with a beginner, start with a beginner's class, and then you'll see yourself just naturally progressing. What I also find, I'm rabbiting now, so this wasn't going to be very long. What I also find is with people is that they get confused about the types of yoga. Your body keeps more flexible as mine did, and pains go away. Yeah, absolutely. They get confused about what's out there, and they don't have a clue as to where to go, what to do. If you're confused about what yoga practice to do, start with a basic Hatha yoga practice and find the teacher and then learn from there. Kundalini is a great yoga for strength, and it's the only form of yoga that isn't a Hatha yoga practice. I'm way too new to join a class. I use video at home and probably won't join a class. Well, if that feels more right for you, then that's absolutely fine. And that's why I like do these little sessions, so that you've got a little bit of yoga going on. Open chest, just open chest. Okay, I thought you were going to say open chest yoga. If you want to see open chest yoga, then it's on.
Someone's moderating, I'm glad.
Okay, good. Okay, let's get on with it, because we want to have some time running in the park and sitting under the trees. Hi. Oh, Steph's just in time. So ask Steph what I'm like at yoga. She'll tell you. She's one of my yogis. My late sister loved yoga. Absolutely, it's brilliant. I like yoga, but have disease. Yeah, disease. So my muscles are weak. So again, Laura, it's about, I would say that Kundalini yoga for muscle strength is just very, very good for building strength, whereas Hatha yoga tends to give you more. I used to practice only Hatha yoga, my strength was crap. But when I started to combine the two, I found that my strength really built up. And that's Kundalini as taught by Yogi Bhajan. Indra is full of energy yoga. She's very very bendy, okay. I'm not really bendy, but that doesn't matter. She's kick-ass Yoga Nidra as well. You know, that's one of my favourite things, Yoga Nidra. Okay, let's go. So Joel's going to hold this phone. I'm going to do a couple very easy poses if you want to do them with me and you can hear me. That's absolutely fine. And if not, just watch the replay. And also feel free to donate if this resonates with you, okay? So let's start with, we'll do the breathing practice first, okay? So we'll
turn it
just
around, hang on.
Yeah, just turn it around. Oh, you can answer. So we'll start with grounding really. So there's a point in the middle of the foot, in the ball of the foot, which is called kidney 1 in Chinese medicine, which is, I want you to imagine that you're breathing through that point. So your feet are about just a hip width apart. And ladies,
I'm going to come here because the wind's this way, so your voice will carry.
Okay. Very clever, Joel. Okay, so ladies tend to do this when I say place their hips, the feet are hip width apart. They tend to go like that. It's like, remember, your hips aren't that big. Your hips are directly underneath. You know, your feet are directly underneath your hips. So it's a straight line, basically. It's not that. Okay, so you're probably just about a little gap between your feet. Okay, so we're going to put the hands here. And we're going to just imagine that we're breathing up through the earth's core, through the bubbling spring or the bubbling well, through the ball of the foot, to the Hara center, which is here, which is your second chakra, Svadhisthana chakra. There's a lot of S's going on there. So you're going to breathe in through the kidney 1, up through the legs to here, and then as you breathe out, you're going to bring the earth, the heavens energy down through the crown to meet the earth energy at Svadhisthana chakra. So it rotates around your Hara center in a clockwise direction. So all you're doing is imagining that you're breathing in the earth energy up through kidney 1, through the ball of your feet into this point here, Hara center, or Dantian if you do Tai Chi, exhaling down through the crown into the center, and at the same time you're just going to raise the arms. So you're going to breathe in, up through the earth. It's all about balancing earth and heaven energy. Exhaling down, and it's a very, very good grounding practice. And you can do this 10 times in the morning when you wake up. You put your feet on the floor, breathe in, exhale, all the way down. Those of you that are yogis, use Ujjayi breath. Don't worry about it. If not, just take a deep breath in, expand the belly outwards, breathing in through the nose, breathing out through the nose, and let the center relax without collapsing. So you still feel the strength in your feet, grounded to the floor, raising up the arms as you inhale, and as you exhale, just lowering the arms slowly down and visualizing the heavens energy coming down from the crown through into your Hara center. It's a very peaceful practice, and it just allows you to connect the energy of the earth and the energy of the heavens in your Hara center, which is also a stimulation for anything creative. So if you want to wake up your creative center, which is your Svadhisthana second chakra, this is also a very good practice to do. It's very, very, very powerful practice. Really feel those feet on the floor, ideally bare feet, no socks, no shoes. But if you must have socks and shoes on, then that's better than nothing. So inhaling deeply, and then exhaling, just lowering. Breathing in through the nose, expanding the belly out. And breathing out through the nose and just relaxing the belly without collapsing. Okay, so you can do that a few times, watch the replay, do it all again, and then just open the legs a little bit more and then allow yourself to drop forward like a rag doll. You're going to grab your elbows, rock, and rock from side to side. Keep the legs still, but just rock from side to side. You can even breathe in and come up if you feel flexible, and exhale with a sigh. Breathe in, come up, and then exhale. And then go the other way. Breathe in up the left, exhale. Breathe in up the left. Stop at the top, deep breath, exhale. And let yourself hang. Okay, so let's do 2 positions for the lower back. So we've got bridge pose on the floor. There's lots of grass today, no yoga mats. Like to do yoga on the ground. Don't have to have a mat. In India they don't have mats. Don't get caught up also in yoga props. We don't need them. And we don't need fancy yoga clothes either. Don't need anything actually, you can do it naked. Okay, again, the feet are a hip width apart, so not out here and not here, hip width apart, okay? Make sure they're not too far away from the body, so they should be directly underneath the knees. You're going to put the hands by the side, you're going to feel your back against the floor, and if your lower back is naturally very arched, I just want you to be aware of that, and I want you to take a deep breath in through your nose and just tip your tailbone up towards the sky and just feel your lower back touching the floor, okay? Keep the chin into the chest so you're not doing this, because that's going to hurt the neck. Okay?
Yeah, saying hi to Marion.
You can answer questions, it's fine. You can answer questions, Yogi.
I can answer questions.
There's a nettle on the
Just
floor.
say Marion just turned up saying hi to Marion.
I'm just moving my hand. Your hand should be by your side, but there's a nettle there, so I have to respect the nettle. Okay? So the hand should be here. Okay, so you're going to inhale, you're going to tip your tailbone to the sky, you're going to uncurl your spine on the inhale, you're going to lift your hips right up to the sky, and vertebra by vertebra, you're going to come right up onto your shoulders. And as you exhale, you're going to roll back down one vertebra at a time, all the way back down to the floor, feeling the lower back touching the floor, so you can tip your tailbone up and then relax back to your neutral position, particularly throat. Breathe in, tip, I don't know if you can see my pelvis coming up. Inhale, tip, all the way up, chin to chest. Gosh. Exhale, roll all the way back down. And some water, Joel.
Some water?
It's like you the other day.
Yeah.
Something's got me. Live TV! It's a fly. I swallowed a fly.
I don't know why she swallowed a fly.
Oh, I might die. Okay, so tip the tailbone. Inhale through the nose, expand.
Oh my, said Rosemary.
Lift up.
That's no.
Exhale.
Thanks, Jennifer.
Don't know what's got me. Okay.
I hate it when the talent dies. It's terrible. Bad for the TV station.
There's definitely something in my throat. It's okay. It doesn't bother me. It's like, I'll start again if I... Okay, so one thing I want you to remember, you can't see my feet, but when you do this, it's very easy to grip the floor and put tension in your toes. So make sure as you go up and you inhale, maybe take your toes off the floor and just wriggle them, and then place them back down again, okay? Because it's really easy to tighten the feet. Okay, so relax your toes. So you're breathing in through the nose, your belly's expanding. Breathing out through the nose, your belly falls, and you roll one vertebra at a time all the way back down. This is very good for the whole spine, okay? And you're going to bring the knees into the chest, you're going to hug the knees, and just rock, so you're massaging the lower back against the floor, okay? Just rock, rock, rock. Okay, then we'll do one more cat-cow position, which is always a lovely one. On the knees, so my cough should stop now. Have your knees a hip width apart and your hands a shoulder width apart, so directly under your shoulders.
Someone said, would it help digestive problems?
Absolutely. Any twisting's really good for digestion and detoxing the liver, but anything with yoga is stimulating the whole body. So yes, it would help. Anything like this helps.
Right.
Yoga, all yoga poses are really good for that. So this is really good for digestion. So tuck your toes behind you, and don't be afraid to really hit the floor. It's nice to have a little bit of sound. I do this with quite a few of my students, and we make as much sound as we can. Can't hear it, but we like to make a lot of sound. Then I'll say stop, and everybody stops. Okay, do quiet. Okay, watch your elbows. You see, I've got double jointed elbows. If you want to show this, a lot of women have this actually. I don't know how long this is going to last because I've got a little battery.
Go on.
Look at my elbows. They do
Check
that.
that out.
Okay.
Wow.
A lot of people have these elbows like mine.
Rosemary says me too.
Right. Okay. So what you need to do when you hold this position is make sure you don't lean like that because you're putting too much weight on the elbow joint. So you must turn your elbows in so they're facing inward. Can you see the difference? So that and that. Now these are the things that some yoga teachers don't have a clue about, and when you're talking earlier about people, we're talking earlier about teacher training, these are the things that you learn with practice, and you learn through knowing your students, and you learn through experience. You can't learn this without experience.
Steph says you were obviously in a circus in a past life.
Oh, well, well actually. So,
and Mujat says he's heard that it opens your chakras. Is that true?
Does what does? Which bit?
Opens your chakras.
What
yoga,
does?
I think, in
Oh,
general.
yoga, yeah. Well, it opens you. It opens your body. So, absolutely. So this, not this. This. If you hopefully you can see can you see the difference?
Yeah, it's clear.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's clear.
And it's very easy for people who have these elbows to just fall into that because it's natural. It just puts a lot of weight on the joints. So just be careful, okay, with that. Not to worry about it, just to be aware of it, okay? Because no worry goes on with yoga. If we start to worry, then we start to get angry, we start to get fearful, and we freak out. So it's all just feel the vessel, okay? So bring the chin into the chest. Start with a nice flat back. I hope mine's flat. And you're going to breathe in.
You're welcome, Mujat.
You're going to breathe in and lift the tailbone up and lift the head to the sky. And then as you exhale, you're just going to arch the spine. So you breathe in through the nose, and you lift the head and you lift the tailbone, and you breathe out through the nose, and you arch the spine and feel the stretch in the whole of your back. Really simple position. But as you breathe, I want you to visualize your spine, the length of your spine. You're creating space between each vertebra in the back as you move. As you exhale, you're lengthening. And as you inhale, you're contracting. As you exhale, if you haven't eaten recently, you can pull the belly in, pull the navel in towards the spine, squeeze it upwards towards your back. So you're bringing your belly button into your spine. Don't do that if you've just eaten. You need about 2 hours because it can make you sick. You shouldn't really do yoga on food.
Hurl pose, that's cool.
Breathe in. Exhale. Curl pose.
Hurl
pose. Hurl pose. Yeah, don't do it if you just eaten. Exhale. And then squeeze the belly in and arch your back. And then once you've finished, you can come back into swan pose and just rest backwards. Bottom comes to the heels and just stretch. Okay, give yourself a nice stretch and
Yes,
hold
Steph.
it there. Okay, that's good. So 2 simple poses there for back problems. I'm going to work next week on some twisting. I can turn it around now. Thank you, Joan. So which way do we go? There you go. So that's a breathing practice for grounding, a couple of yoga practices for your back. That feels good just by watching. Please, can you show me? Oh, you'll have to watch the replay, my love. But next week, Moon Shadow, welcome. That feels great. Did you do it, Sherry? I hope so. That's wonderful. So what I want you to visualise when you're doing those moves, watch again, watch the replay, good, is to visualise as you breathe your spine lengthening. So we all have space. Oh, you're welcome. We all have space between our vertebrae, but when we have back problems, our space between our vertebrae can get really compressed and tight. So when you visualize, as you know, good morning, when you visualize things, good morning, my love, when you visualize in your mind the positive happening, then of course that has an effect on the body. So just see the lengthening happening in your vertebrae, and it will happen. And you might find you look like Satan's daughter. Okay, good. You will find that you'll work out when you practice yoga whether the beginning of the day is best for you, which is always best for me. If you're better doing yoga at the end of the day, that's better for you because you might be more flexible at the end of the day. Find your time. There is no yes, I am. It's no ideal time or space to do yoga. You can do it in as little a place or a space as possible. You can do it in a huge room, you can do it outside. You don't need a mat. There's no excuse because you don't need specific clothing. Don't listen to all this crap that goes on about we need this, this, this and this. Find your teacher, find the right person for you. Really be aware of what kind of yoga practice you want for you, what your needs are at this moment in time in your life. And you know me, if you've got specific needs, you need help finding a teacher, just email me, indra@silent-moon.co.uk, and I will help you out. Oh, thank you very much. Wish you were in the US, lol. Well, I'm always happy to come to the US and do workshops. If I'm asked and if I'm supported, then I am always paid. Oh, obviously paid. I'm always happy to do it. So I can be in the US. Nothing is impossible. When you're ready, you'll find them. Absolutely. It's so true.
Amen.
When you're ready, you'll find them. That is so true. And if you're keen enough to find them as well, if it's really something that you want to do, the teacher will be there. When you come, I will fly there. Yeah. I've had people say to me that they want me to come, and that's absolutely fine. Can you help me to stretch
You've
my
had your question
feet?
answered by Sherry, and you've asked that about 10 times now.
I don't know how to stretch my feet. I don't know.
Sherry told him to rotate your ankle at the ankle.
Okay. So pure, missed that. So pure, don't need mats. Who was that? I want to do absolutely. Whoever that was, it's so true. You do not need mats. You do not need props. Props are there to push your body further than it should go. And then at that point in time, if you are using a prop, then your body isn't necessarily. This is my belief. Okay, B, well done, Steph. That's good. That sounded patronising. Didn't like that. I was using your well done. I don't like that.
Well done.
This is my view, okay? This is not everybody's view. Some people feel that you need to use certain props to go that little bit further. My belief is that you can go further with the body gradually by working every day just to get yourself there a little bit more. It's just great to know some people are so great caught up in that. I love that. No props. Yes, because why would you use a prop? You would use a prop to take you that bit further. There's one thing that I don't mind using, and it's a block. The reason why a block is very good to sit on the end of, because it tips the pelvis forward. So if you have trouble sitting in Tadasana, like a cross-leg position, then you can't put your knees on the floor, and that can be very uncomfortable, because what happens is when you sit in a cross-leg position without a prop and you haven't got the lengthening in your body drops, and you start to get the bellies and everything in the center of the body. The organs start to collapse. So sometimes a prop of a block is good to sit on the edge of if you're very new to yoga, just to help you lengthen. Straps, I mean, straps are okay, but I just don't see why. I've taught people yoga without straps who've not been able to touch their knees in a sitting forward bend, and I've now got them after a few years going beyond their toes. Remember one thing: does the universe exist because of our? Okay, the yoga clothes turn into you, and yeah, that's another thing I have. I don't, it's a thing. It's just turned into a big marketing cooperation. It's become really huge, the yoga clothing. Believe me, you don't have to have any of this. You're right though, people do get caught in all that stuff. I would say blocks and straps are sort of okay, but when it comes to using gloves, and specific Mama Tranny. Oh wow, thank you, that's hilarious. Lovely. I'm happy to embrace that actually. Well, actually, Jeffree Star, who I follow, he's not a tranny, but yes, it's his lipstick. So yeah, well done. So gloves, all that stuff. If you can't hold your mat with your hands, and hold your feet on the floor, then one, get a new mat if you want to use a mat because it's not sticky enough, or two, just practice and get, because what will happen is without the gloves your legs and your arms will strengthen. If you use the glove, it weakens you. It's just another marketing thing. Let's take grippy yoga gloves and put them, and so I would say blocks are okay if you haven't got the length in your body, because a lot of the time, like the way Joel's sitting, like, go on, sit sitting
like this.
Like
terrible
that.
posture.
I mean, that's kind of a normal Western guy's sitting position. Lengthen your spine, Joe. Yeah, sit up, and that's what a block does help you to do. It's really good for that. But anyway, it's up to you. But I wouldn't say use blocks. I wouldn't say use props, but blocks and straps maybe. Okay, Joe, how could you sit straight? You sit straight sometimes, don't you? I need to get him blind. But his knees are quite low. Hello from Turkey. His knees are quite low, so he's all right. So that means his hips are quite open. So you'll find that if you sit and you drop in your hips lift, then that becomes quite uncomfortable, and you don't want to practice yoga like that because you can't move then. So maybe the block can just help that. All you need is your heart and some water. Yes, that's true. So I said I wasn't going to be on very long, and I have been. I want to get on with my day and my itchy nose. Tomorrow I'll be back in in my town at 1:30, so hopefully I'll be on in time. And if not, oh gosh.
Yeah.
And if not, then I'll be scoping late on. It'll be about 3ish, so probably more towards 3. But anyway, I scope at 2:30 every day. If you found that was beneficial, then please feel free to just tap the donation button on my website, silent-moon.co.uk. Thanks for the donation, by the way, Steph, the other day. That was really kind of you. Thank you for all of those of you that are ordering Silent Moon and experiencing all the products. Thank you. Sherry's bought the last bottle of Bluebell, so there is no Bluebell left now. It's all gone, so you have to wait till next May before that's created again. We must put the sold out sign on that, by the way, on our website, on the website today. So everybody, lots and lots of love to you, and I will see you tomorrow. Take care. Hang on. I'm Joel.
Hang on. I'm just putting a comment up.
Have a good day. Thank you, my love.
Got value today? Please donate at silentmoon.co.uk. I think she's given amazing value. It's in a yoga class. And
testimonial.
And the pair of us today have given lots of value and lots of perspectives. If you think that you would like to buy Indra a cup of tea, go to her site.
Oh, I need one of them.
Yeah, we have to go and get a cup of tea. There's a cafe over there, in fact. If you want to pay for our tea right now, go to the website and donate.
Luscious.
That would be lovely.
Bye, everybody. Bye. Bye. Have a good day. Thanks, Marianne.